Okay, so as a brief recap from yesterday, we are going to be looking at level 3 conversions, and what we told you about yesterday are the different structures that constitute what I call a level 3 unit. And one of them is where we had 3 units all to the first power, but their unit structure had 2 things that were being multiplied on top over 1 in the denominator, or 1 in the numerator with 2 being multiplied in the denominator. And really, for this one, the main rule that you just had to remember is you always got to keep units diagonal when you're converting them so that you're canceling the old unit and introducing a new one. But depending on where you are, sometimes the diagonals go this way, sometimes the diagonals go the other way. Now, one of the other ones that we looked at yesterday was where we had something in the numerator squared or cubed over something in the denominator that was just to the first power, or the thing on top was just to the first power and the unit on the bottom was squared or cubed. And we did a sample problem yesterday of this, number 5, and the thing that you have to become comfortable with here, and hopefully you remember, is you still had to follow the diagonal rule to set things up, but for the unit that has the exponent of a square or a cube, those particular steps in converting that unit to its new unit would have to be squared and cubed. So it's not all of them, it's only some of them that correspond to whatever it carries an exponent to begin with. Now the third one that we're going to look at today is where it's somewhat similar to that, except instead of dividing those 2 different subunits, we're multiplying them. So it will look like this. And as far as the rules to follow, the principles will be exactly the same rules that we had to follow here. We still have to follow the rule of having things be diagonal, but some steps will be squared or cubed and others will not, depending on which unit we're dealing with at the moment. There's one other thing I was going to mention about this. Now I can't remember what it is. So it'll have to come up during the sample. Oh, this is what I was going to mention. Because I noticed there was something that came up with this, I think on the last unit conversion quiz. When you have 2 things that are just being multiplied by each other like this and it doesn't show a denominator, that means both of these things are in the numerator or on top to begin with. So you need to keep that in mind when you're thinking about, oh, I got to make things diagonal so they cancel. Just keep in mind that in this scenario, both of these start in the numerator. Whereas in this sample here, sometimes people actually do better with this because of the explicit bar here. They understand that one thing is in the numerator and the other thing is in the denominator. Okay, so let's dive into a sample of this type, and then we'll give you some time to practice on. I would at least hope that you do 1 extra of each of these to say, I got this. Okay. And we will color code this like we did the other day. So we are going to do number 8 here. And number 8 is 9.31 E3 grams times micro inches cubed, and we want to convert this to hectopounds times meters. cubed. Oh, damn it. I forgot to do my colors. All right, I got to go back here. Got to correct myself. We're going to do this in blue. You guys don't have to correct anything for this. And we're going to do this in orange. Now, okay, now we can start. All right, I'm going to kind of look for input because I think a lot of you can say, I know how to do this. Somebody want to volunteer to start? Anybody? Yeah, okay. All right, Michaela. Which one do you want to start with, blue or orange?
Blue.
Okay, we're starting with blue. So what do I need to draw?
The H.
The H? Okay. What are you going to put? Tell me what to put just unit-wise and where.
Grams at the bottom. And I would go kilograms on top.
Okay. And now what?
Another H.
Another H. Okay. And what's going to go where?
Kilograms at the bottom.
Okay.
Pounds on top.
Okay.
And another H.
And another H. Okay.
Pounds at the bottom. And hectopounds on top.
Okay. Perfect. All right. Now, we'll have, since you did this, we'll have you give me numbers. What's going to go where, starting with this one?
1 would be on top.
Okay.
And then E3 at bottom.
Perfect.
And then 1 pound on top.
And
454 or .454.
okay, very good. I'm going to say not too many people use that one, but that is one of the acceptable conversion factors. 1 pound is 0.454 kilograms. Some people at this point, if you did this, you might not put this one, you might put 1 with the kilogram and 2.21 up here. Any of those are acceptable, okay? So you might have done something different than this, but that's just because you're comfortable with another unit, but this is perfectly acceptable. All right, and then on the last one?
1 on top and E2 at the bottom.
Okay, perfect. And so the diagonal principle here, this cancels that, this one cancels that, this one cancels that, and we're left with hectopounds, which is what we want. So we're all good. Okay, 1 unit down. Somebody want to tell me what to do on the orange one? Anybody? All right, Andreas. All right, what do I need to do first?
Do an H.
We need one of these. Okay, what's going to go where?
So mega inch is going to go on the bottom.
Okay.
And inch is going to go on top.
Okay.
And then another H.
All right.
And then you're going to do inch on the bottom and then feet on top.
Okay.
And then another H, and you're going to do feet on the bottom and then meters on top.
Okay.
And then for the numbers, it's going to be E6 on the bottom and then 1 on top. I mean, no, 1 on the bottom, E6 on the top.
Right, because mega is the bigger thing, so it gets the 1,
Yeah.
and then we get E6 here. Okay.
And then a 3 for the exponent.
Okay. So that is going to be cubed because the mega inches are cubed. All right.
Yeah.
And next.
And then you're going to do 1 foot is 12 inches.
All right.
And then 1 meter is 3.28 feet. And then put the exponents for 3 on both.
Correct. Each one of these steps is going to have to be cubed because every step involved in orange here has to be cubed because this is cubed. Okay. Now, I'm going to do this in black. Let's go to the calculation. All right. Who wants to take me through the calculation so we can kind of spell this out? And you don't have to do this part like when you do a unit conversion quiz, but I do not think it is a bad idea to do this because, again, as I corrected the conversion quizzes from the other day in a variety of periods, I saw some people that when they wrote out their calculation here, some people had this correct, but they didn't have it written correctly here, and that helped explain why they had not ended up with the correct answer. So, somebody new. Okay, Michael.
So you start with 9.31 E3.
Okay.
Multiply, I guess, yeah, divided by 0.454.
Okay, come one before that.
Oh, yeah, divided by E3.
Yeah.
Divided by E3,
All right. Then.
divided by 0.454.
Okay.
Then divided by E2.
Got a lot of divided by. All right.
And then multiplied by E6 cubed.
And remember, on the calculators, if you're using one of the class calculators, it has a cube button, so it'll give you the cube up there. Okay.
And then divided by 12 cubed.
All right.
And then divided by 3.28 cubed.
Okay. So at this point, it's time to calculate. If anybody needs a calculator, they're up on the wall. Did you guys already get them all? Wow, you guys are on top of things. Okay, so we have 9.31, and remember to get the exponent, or this capital E, you use the EXP button. Then we have the 3. So now we divide by E3, divide by 0.454, divide by E2 times E6, and this is where we have to go get that X cubed button that's up in the upper right and just hit that, and you should see an extra little 3 go up a little higher. Divide by 12 cubed, divide by 3.28 cubed. And then after that, we hit equal. And if you used exactly what I had here, you would get 3.363 E12 hectopounds times meters cubed. Okay, so here's a sample of the third type of unit structure problem. And so as far as I'll call it your official practice one that I would go for with this. Let's go with 6 on that one. So we've done 2, 5, and 8. I am really wanting you to do 1, 4, and 6. And if you get through that, go for 3, 7, and 9. There's always something different, you know, about, you know, the prefixes that I've used, or maybe the exponents or where they are. So, you know, in the big picture, I would say if you could do all of these, and if you can get them all right, you're in good shape for any problem I could give you next week. And if you don't get an answer that's correct, here in class you can call me over and we can take a look at your work. Do not erase your work, because I want to see what you put together first, because it's possible that you put a lot of stuff together correctly and just maybe a wrong number got someplace, or maybe you had a little bit of a brain fart and you forgot to flip something a particular way. But I got to see what your work is first. So you guys can use the rest of the period today, which is what is that, another 20 minutes to work on these and ask me questions. And then tomorrow you're not going to let me forget to talk about the soft and the follow through. Okay, but we'll give you the rest of today to work through these. Any questions? Okay, so you guys get to work on that, and we'll call it a day, at least as far as the lecture goes.